are live. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. This is the Youngin, episode 4. Eddie needs some time off, so, the show must go on. And do apologize for taking a slight break, A lot was just going on. But, hey, here we are. Definitely hope everybody has enjoyed the start to their 2024. If you got New Year's resolutions, wish you well with those. Yeah. So, to start off, wanted to talk about a recent Cars and Coffee I just attended. It is called Kyusha Club, Cars and Coffee. Honestly, if you are into cars and you live in Arizona, specifically Phoenix, or you're visiting, definitely Kyusha Club Cars and Coffee is something I highly recommend every car enthusiast attends. It is strictly 80s to early 2000s year on JDM, and super dope meat. Really just the vibes there, nice and chill, nothing too crazy. Don't get too many idiots showing up that just want to mess it up for all of us car enthusiasts. Just nice, chill, park the car, socialize, mingle, just look at some great cars. And, this one was actually downtown in Phoenix, specifically on 1'S Street, right across the street from the Churchill. Super great meet. Definitely had a lot of fun. Really got the itch going to get myself another fun car again, which hopefully this year. I know I've talked about it in past episodes of the podcast, and I'm definitely hoping to make it happen this year. Obviously, the way the economy going, it's tough, but yeah, definitely, hopefully this year, because I tell you all the time, you don't realize how much you miss something till you don't have it all anymore. And, there's times I really do regret selling the 300Z that I imported back in 2021. It's like, yes, that's why I got the car, to sell it. I was trying to get into importing vehicles to the States and selling them. Obviously, knowing what I know now, no. But hey, it is what it is, I'm glad I tried. Yeah, but overall though, great meat. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10. And it was great seeing a lot of the homies that I hadn't seen or don't see too often. It was great to hear that a lot of them are actually going to be attending Tokyo Auto Salon. Super excited for them. Bummed I'm not going to be able to make it this time. But it is what it is. So, to all y'all that are going, definitely hope you enjoy yourself. And definitely, please get plenty of pictures for your boy. I'm looking forward to seeing those. So, that is all I ask out of you. Yeah. Yeah, so, moving into, NBA, which we're going to be here for a minute. So, get you some coffee, make sure you just relaxing, or if you're at work, just we going to be on NBA for a minute. So, I did want to bring this up because I actually totally forgot to put it on the list that I put on the Divergent Being page's story about what was going to be talked about on this episode. So, Draymond Green. If you have not seen, he's officially been reinstated. He's working on returning. And, he talked about, while he was on the suspension, he was really considering retirement. I must say, I'm glad to hear that Adam Silver, there we go. I'm glad to hear Adam Silver talked him out of it because, regardless how you feel about Draymond's antics, regardless how you feel about Draymond as a person, he is very crucial to the Golden State Warriors. We're not going to beat around the bush there. You take him off at least two of those championship winning teams, they don't win that title. I'm just going to keep it a buck with you. He is actually very important. I know there's a lot of casuals out there that don't understand what he does, but he does a lot of the dirty work / he is the true point guard / glue, if you want to call it. He's the true point guard / glue to the Golden State Warriors. It's facts. It's facts. So, me, as a fan of just his game, I was actually super happy to hear that, Adam Silver really talked some sense into him and convinced him not to retire. Just because, yes, you can't be going around putting people in headlocks or, punching people in the face just for no reason. But the problem is, guys like him are somewhat needed in the league. You need enforcers in the league. Let's just be honest for a second. And, regarding just his game of basketball, you only get guys like him so often, guys that can guard 1 through 5, guys that, at his position, which keep in mind, he's very undersized at the power forward. The fact that he's able to do what he does, from, playing the defense to, more so being a floor general at that position, you don't get guys like that too often. So, yeah, it's definitely crucial that, guys like him stay in the league, especially, for the next generation. I mean, one that I could think of, again, a lot of people don't like this guy, but we're seeing it now regarding his former team, who I'll talk about here shortly, Dylan Brooks. You're seeing it since he left Memphis and went to Houston. Memphis went on a decline. Houston went on an incline because that defensive presence that he brought actually did matter. And heck, just looking at some of his stats, he's actually shooting 40% at the three-point line. And I mean, he's not just jacking up shots. Like, he's actually taking a good amount of shots at the three-point line, and he's making them count. So it's good to see that he's actually playing good basketball. Again, regardless how you feel about him or not, but stats don't lie. Let's just keep that a buck. And, moving into Memphis, sadly, we saw the news. Ja Morant is going to be out for the season with a torn labrum in his shoulder. It just sucks to see, man. He just got back, and, I was hoping he was going to help Memphis make a good push to kind of get out of, just the trouble they're in with seeding in the West. So him being hurt now is a huge blow, and to be honest, I don't think they can make playoffs at this point because the West is just too stacked. They were already struggling without him. They got him back. They were starting to do okay, but now that they lost him again, yeah, it might be a wrap this year. I hope not, but hey, just calling it as I see it. And keep in mind, I could be very wrong when playoffs come. I could be very wrong. So let me just say that right now. But just from what I've seen from them and just them losing such a huge blow, I don't see them making it. I mean, back when they had Dylan Brooks and that year where Ja had that ankle injury and was out for a while, that team, it was actually good enough to where they could literally make a deep push into playoffs without him because stats proved it. They were more efficient when Ja wasn't on the court. But again, because Dylan Brooks is gone, they've lost that defensive presence. So, hey, it's going to be interesting. It is definitely going to be interesting. Apologies, my house phone ringing. Yes, I still have a house phone. I know, yeah, some people don't know what that is. Some people got rid of theirs 10 years ago. Yes, I still have one. But, yeah, so huge blow to Memphis. And, you know, it just sucks to see, man. You never want to see that happen. Like, injuries suck, bro. I mean, take it from me. I'm a Clipper fan. Need I say more? Excuse me. And speaking of the Clippers, I just saw today that we officially extended Kawhi Leonard. 3 years, $152 million. No player option. So, happy to see that he's going to be with us for the next 3 years, you know, hopefully. You know, excuse me. So, here's my thing. The no player option thing tells me, A, he kind of plans to be here. Well, with the Clippers for the rest of his career. And, you know, 3 years, I'm not sure if it was just a money thing or kind of a, this is just how much we want to give you, or we'll see where you're at in your career. But if I'm being upfront, I maybe only have him playing for 3 more years at the level he's playing at right now. At best. So, hey, I'm hoping he proves me wrong. I mean, hey, truth be told, he has been proving a lot of people wrong. Because, I mean, I always hate the whole idea that people had about him that he didn't want to play. It's like, bro, like, to be fair, us as fans don't know what these guys are going through on a day-to-day basis, you know, especially with their bodies. And, you know, just hearing about how, you know, his knees are at this point, you know, it's tough, man. I mean, speaking from experience, you know, I have a condition, you know, where my kneecaps are very unstable and they're constantly moving every time I take a step. So I understand how it feels, you know. You get out of bed in the morning, you don't feel right at all. Like, hey, there's been times I've literally had to pop my knee back into place, like, literally after one step. So, somewhat, I understand what he goes through on a day-to-day basis, but, I mean, again, there's levels to everything. He's a professional athlete. I'm way down here. So, yeah, totally different things. But I always like to say I never like to knock these guys, especially when I've never been in their position. I don't know what's going on in their day-to-day life. So, definitely, I'm happy to see that, you know, he is playing at the level he's playing at. He's playing more consistently. Because the only thing I will knock, it was stupid of the Clippers to basically have him playing 25, 30 minutes all season and then just shoot right up to 40 minutes that first game of playoffs. That was the most ignorant thing I've ever seen in my life. Don't ever do that again. That is all I'm asking. Don't do that again. Yeah. Another injury I meant to bring up. Tyrese Haliburton just recently got hurt. And, you know, that one just sucked to see because he was killing it, bro. Like, man. So, I'm a bit of a Haliburton stan. I'll just say it, I think the dude is a great point guard. Heck, I think he actually might be the best point guard in the league right now. More so traditional point guard. And I say that because this next gentleman I got to talk about, yeah, you'll understand in a sec. But, Tyrese Haliburton, since he got to the Pacers, he really turned that team around. And, it was just good to see the tear that he was on this season. So, yeah, I'm hoping he's able to come back a little bit earlier than expected. I think they said it was a grade 1 hamstring strain. Correct me if I'm wrong. But, I'm hoping he doesn't have to miss too much time. Because, yeah, that is... Ooh. Yeah, because that is going to be crucial for that team if he has to miss way too much time. So, again, I'm hoping he doesn't have to miss too much time. Let's see what else we got here. The MVP race in the NBA. Again, as a fan, we're all going to have different opinions, but me personally, I think SGA needs to be the front runner right now. Because it's like, I'm going to pull up some stats. God, I don't know why I'm struggling right now. Just to make sure, speaking factually here. So, right now, number 1 is Joel Embiid of the 76ers. Season stats so far are 34.8 points per game, 11.8 rebounds per game, and 6.2 assists per game. That's pretty good. That's actually very good. Number 2, Nikola Jokic of the Denver Nuggets. Season stats are 26 points per game, 12.2 rebounds per game, and 9.1 assists per game. That's great as well. And, he did just have that crazy buzzer beater against Golden State. And also, Joel Embiid racked up his 7th career triple-double against Chicago. And just so you're aware, this article was made January 5th, 2024 by Michael C. Wright. And this is on NBA.com, just for full transparency. Number 3 is SGA of Oklahoma City Thunder. Season stats, 31.4 points per game, 5.9 rebounds per game, and 6.4 assists per game. Again, that's great as well. And produced his 8th 30-plus point game in 9 appearances in a loss Wednesday at Atlanta that snapped a 5-game winning streak. And keep in mind, he actually, so OKC actually did just recently beat the Nuggets, my bad. And I believe they also beat the Timberwolves, who are a number 1 seed right now. So that's pretty solid. Let's see here. And let me just make sure that as well. Yeah, but number 4, Giannis Antetokounmpo of the Milwaukee Bucks. Season stats are 31.1 points per game, 11.4 rebounds per game, and 5.8 assists per game. Scored 29 of his 44 points in the second half of a thriller at San Antonio in his first matchup against Victor Wembanyama. And that was a fun game to watch. That was actually a very fun game to watch. Number 5. Excuse me. Luka Doncic of the Dallas Mavericks. Season stats are 33.7 points per game, 8.3 rebounds per game, 9.3 assists per game. And, Luka been going crazy, especially after becoming a dad, man. Like, hey, Dad Luka, man, been on a tear. I think he did miss a game pretty recently, which I don't think that's going to hurt him because they said if Joel Embiid misses 9 more games, that can remove him from the MVP race. So that's already crazy to think he's already missed as many as he has. And just so we're clear, to round out the top 10, number 6 is Jason Tatum of the Boston Celtics. Number 7 is Tyrese Haliburton of the Indiana Pacers. Number 8, Domantas Sabonis, Sacramento Kings. Number 9, Anthony Davis, Los Angeles Lakers. And number 10, Anthony Edwards of the Minnesota Timberwolves. And, 5 more just because. Devin Booker, Phoenix Suns. Kevin Durant, Phoenix Suns. LeBron James, Lakers. Kawhi Leonard, Clippers. Damian Lillard, Milwaukee Bucks. So, here's my problem. If Joel Embiid has already missed as many games as he has, and he's 9 more away from being disqualified from MVP, in my opinion, he moves down. Joker definitely should be 1 or 2. I don't argue against that. But my thing is, SGA, the tear that he's on right now, and the fact of he is proving he is the best player on his team night in and night out, and just doing what he's doing, bro. Like, in my opinion, he should be the front runner of MVP, or at least second. Because I'm not going to knock Joker at all. And heck, I don't even knock Embiid in terms of just what he does when he's actually on the court. But the problem is, he's already missed so many games. That's a problem. So, that's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. But, I don't know, man. Who knows? This could be very different after All-Star break. It could be very different. So, I'm just waiting to see what happens. And, yeah, we're really going to go from there. Because, it's already been an interesting season, especially with the in-season tournament. I think the Lakers are going to bounce back a little bit. You can kind of see that they gassed themselves out a little bit with winning that tournament. I mean, they definitely showed up against my Clippers. Sadly, we lost that game. But, I mean, hey, we still came out and fought. So, couldn't ask for much more at that point. But, yeah, I'm definitely curious to see what happens before and after All-Star break. Definitely the Suns are the most interesting team right now. Because, I'm sorry, but the elephant in the room, the Suns really need to make a move before the trade deadline. And when I say a move, they need to go get an actual point guard. Because the problem is, I get it. Book has ran the point before. He's not bad at it. I will give him that. But the problem is, you're taking away from what he really needs to be doing. Like, let's just be real here. If we're talking about scoring, he is arguably going to be one of the greatest of all time when it comes to scoring. Let me say that again. Scoring. Like, the dude is an assassin when it comes to putting the ball in the net. But the problem is, you having him running the point guard position is taking away from potential open looks to go get a bucket. Because, let's be real here, the dude can easily put up 30, 40 points every night if he truly wants to. That is factual. But now he has too much to do because he has to worry about getting his points, has to worry about setting everybody else. He has to run the floor now too. Like, I'm sorry, but what hurt him was that Bradley Beal trade. I'm sorry. It's just facts. They should have kept Chris Paul. Or they should have just released Chris Paul and then just brought him back. If it was money themed, they could have got him for cheaper. Or you should have just paid the man. Because it's like, bro, chances are you'd be in a better position if you just kept Chris Paul and just improved your bench. Because we all saw the problem last year. The Nurkic move for DeAndre Ayton was actually a better move in my opinion. Just because DeAndre Ayton can be a solid top 10, arguably top 5 center in today's game. Because, he's a very offensive-minded center that also plays really good defense. But the problem is, he had to get his mental right. Like, I'm sorry, but dude was just very soft for a big man. There were times I said, I think he forgets he's bigger than everybody sometimes and just doesn't want to bang on anybody when he's literally right under the rim or even near it. So I think the Nurkic move was better, and definitely for DA's case, for him to kind of get a fresh start in Portland, I think it's going to be good for him for the coming years. But really, yeah, Phoenix should have just, after that move, they should have just worked on the bench, because that was the only problem, especially with last year's team. Because, let's be real here. As soon as Kawhi went down, I'm sorry, but Phoenix should have obliterated us, and we still hung in there. Yes, we only won one game, but let's be real here. The fact that you're beating a Clipper team down their 2 best players, and you're barely beating them by, 5 to at most 10 points, that's a problem. I'm just going to say it. So, this year, because they can't get it together, they can't have Beal, Booker, and Durant on the court at the same time all the time, which is starting to look like a Brooklyn Nets situation. Yeah, I'm sorry, but we're going to steamroll them if it keeps up. Especially if they can't keep them 3 healthy, but also if they don't get an actual point guard. I'm just being honest. Because, hey, they really need a point guard, but also they need some defense, bro. They ain't got that right now. I mean, heck, we barely have it. We got a dude that plays great defense sitting on the bench because there's just no room for him to play, and I hate that because, I actually like P.J. Tucker's game for what he does. And I know, a lot of you casuals are over there like, but what does P.J. Tucker do? He actually does a lot. If you really know how to look at how the game of basketball is played, it's not just all about putting the ball in the hoop. There's a lot more to it. But, hey, for the Suns' sake, yeah, go get a point guard. Just do me that favor. Yeah. Excuse me. Let me hydrate real quick. So some free plug. Just recently became an ambassador for this company, Dubby. So what it is, it's a jitterless energy blend, and they also have a hydro blend as well. I actually really like it. I've been drinking it for the past few days. I love the hydro blend. I don't like water. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I absolutely do not like water. I need to taste something, but this has helped a little bit more. Mixing, whether it's the, energy blend or the hydration blend, it definitely helps, just mix it with some water and, gives it a, subtle taste. And, it's actually very healthy too. So, definitely something I think I'm going to stick with for a while. Versus just buying all these energy drinks that really aren't good for you. And, I do have a code as well in my personal bio on my Real Macism IG page. And I'll also put a code in the podcast description as well. Go on ahead and get you some. Try some out. Hey, you might like it. See what else we got on today's list. So, staying a little bit on Suns theme. The Dbook 1. So I finally got to see a pair in person, and it was actually one of the numbered pairs, that orange pair that dropped in Miami. There's only 500 that were made. That is the best looking one out of all the ones we've seen. It's not even up for debate. That is the best looking one. The problem is I'm not willing to pay more than $100 for a pair of those. And the number pairs, yeah, they going for some money. I watched one of the homeboys buy a pair while I was at Archive. I ain't gonna say names, but hey, I'm happy you were happy with your purchase, my boy. But I couldn't do it. I don't like that shoe that much. It just looks like a mid Air Force One blended with something else. Yeah, I almost forget. But yeah, I can't do it, man. I'm sorry. Nah. That shit was just too trash for me. And then when I heard that the retail was $150, bro, I'd much rather go get a pair. I wish I had the box in here somewhere. Oh yeah, it's right there, but I don't feel like burying it out. Bro, like, back when Kyrie was still with Nike, like, bro, I think, like, I paid $150 to $200 for the Concept Kyrie 8 collaboration. Now, I've said ever since Kyrie 4 through 8, he has had some of the best basketball shoes I've ever put on my foot ever. And, those, I can understand those being like $150, but these Dbooks, I'm sorry, man. I can't do it. Now, of course, I have not had a chance to try them on court. So, for on court purposes, if that's why they cost that much, okay, so be it. But look-wise, those are trash. I'm just going to be honest. Yeah, no. I can't do it, man. And then another problem that I'm having is, like, Nike trying to hype these up. So let me say this. When they were coming out with the videos for social media for them, and, like, you had Booker going around, giving them to people and all that. I said this might be some of the best branding Nike has done in a long time, because it pretty much just got to the point with the shoes. You see Booker, he's giving them to friends and family, giving them to a few schools, and they're hooping in them. That's all you need to do. I'm sold. But problem is, the shoe just looks terrible. That's the only problem. And the fact that you guys are coming out with these colorways that are basically paying homage to, like, old shoes that, are beloved by sneakerheads, they're not making the shoe look better. Like, I don't know who had to tell you that, but they're trash. I'm sorry. They're trash. Like, I'd almost say just scrap this whole book 1 and just move right on to book 2, because I'm sorry. That shoe is garbaggio. Somebody just had to say it. Hey, I don't even think I'm the first person to say it, nor will I ever be the last person to say it. The shoes are trash. Hey, like, I said the John Morants were kind of trash. Yeah, the book, like, overleaped the John Morant one by miles. I'm just going to say that. Hey, out of these newer basketball shoes that came out specifically for Nike, Sabrina Ionescu, I apologize if I butchered her name, she has the best shoe right now. It's not even a question. When it comes to new Nike athlete signature shoes, she has the best one. It's not even a question. I'm starting to sound like Greg right now. And the Jordan side, Jason Tatum has the best shoe by miles. I'm just going to say it. Luka is second, but he's very far off. Yeah, something needs to be done about these signature shoes, because I will say that Anthony Edwards one, I'm hoping that helps revive Adidas basketball a little bit, because, Harden has, it's been like that with him. His new model that he's been wearing right now, I don't mind them, but they just look weird. The Trae Young, nobody cares. I can't even think of who else has a shoe over there, but that Anthony Edwards one, fire. And the rollout for those, fire. Absolutely fire. That's all I'm saying. But Nike, just do us all a favor. Just, if you're going to come out with those ones that he's been wearing on court, come out with them already, because I'm getting tired of seeing them, but you're not dropping them. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. And on top of that, don't make too many other colorways of the book 1. Like, just move on to the book 2 and do better by the dude, because I actually want to see him have a good looking shoe. I mean, you killed Paul George's line for these shoes, and they're trash. Like, at this point, I'm starting to think Booker should have just stayed a Kobe guy. That's all I'm saying. So, I'm about to go on another rant. I'm going to tell you, if you are easily triggered, I'm just going to tell you right now, turn off the podcast. Turn it off. I'm just going to let you know, because a lot of y'all, or actually some of y'all that are amongst certain groups of people, aren't going to like what I have to say. So I just want you to be aware. So, we have had an ongoing problem. The Gilbert Goons. Yeah. Yeah, that's apparently the name they go by. I know. It sounds crazy. So, from what I've been able to gather, it is a group of kids, high school kids, that have been going around beating up people. Basically, you know what? I'm not going to pull any punches. This group of thugs has been going around just doing a bunch of stupid stuff. We're just going to call it like it is. Now, sadly, they did kill a kid by the name of Preston Lord back in October, I believe I read. And they didn't start actually investigating about this group till December last year. Here's where I have my problem. And again, turn it off. If you don't like what I'm about to say, turn it off. This is your final warning. My problem with it right now is, again, there's a group of white kids, predominantly white kids from Gilbert. Let's be real here for 1 second. If these kids looked like me, they'd already be arrested. They'd already be getting prosecuted. It'd be a wrap. Heck, they might even be dead. We're just going to call it like it is. The problem is, you got the police department over here playing games talking about, well, we need to figure out if they are actually a gang or not, from what I was reading just today. And, you know, overall, they just playing games, bro. I don't get what's taking so long. You have video evidence. These idiots don't even know how to jump nobody correctly. For one, if you're going to jump somebody, don't record it. But if you feel the need to record it, at least hide your face, you idiots. Like, that's all I'm saying. So, I don't get why it's taking so long. Because they are a gang. We're not going to sit here and act like they're not. If you were really trying to sit here and act like they're not a gang, I'm sorry, you're an idiot. I'm just going to be honest. You're an idiot. If you really are sitting there like, oh, they're just kids. You know, kids do dumb things. Bro, when I was their age, I knew right from wrong in terms of, hey, it's not okay to go beat up people randomly. You definitely shouldn't kill nobody. Yeah, I knew that at 18. Heck, I knew that when I was like 13. So I don't want to hear that excuse. They're just kids. No, at that point, you made your bed, lay in it. So, yeah, you need to prosecute them because you know who did it. You know, yeah, I know you know. We've all seen the video. We all know how good AI is nowadays. Heck, I've seen y'all catch some criminals pretty quickly nowadays. What's taking so long this time? And again, like I said, if you did not take my warning at the start of this rant, I told you to turn it off. So, that's your fault for being mad. I gave you a fair warning. And if you still don't like it, well, hey, too bad. Too bad. You don't gotta like everything in the world. You don't gotta like everything I say. Nobody forced you to listen to this. I didn't hold a gun to your head and tell you to listen to this. I'm just calling it how it is. I'm calling it how I see it. Now, again, there is a whole bunch of other stuff about them. Somebody was trying to say that they're a group of Mormon kids. From what I've been able to gather, that's not true. They were trying to say they're a bunch of rich kids. From what I've been able to gather, that's also not true. I've heard some of them come from wealthier families. I've heard some of them don't. Again, I just wanted to make sure I did not sit here and give false information, but from what I have been able to gather, all these people that are supposed to be investigating on this, they're just playing games from what I've seen. all these articles that I read, it's always a beat around the bush type thing. And quite frankly, I'm getting tired of it because at the end of the day, a kid died because of these idiots. And then we always want to talk about, oh, justice for so-and-so. You have a chance to get it and you're still not getting it. So I'm not seeing what the problem is. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, don't go being people for no reason. And also, bro, if you really got a problem with somebody, at least one-on-one. Like, come on. Like, I don't know what it is about this generation, man, these younger kids, but it's like, bro, they be scared to fight one-on-one. And on top of that, why are y'all recording everything? I am so confused. Like, if you're doing dirt, don't record it. Like, come on. But I'm sorry y'all had to listen to me rant for, it's probably been about 30 minutes I've been on a rant from basketball to this. So, I'm going to leave it here. Appreciate y'all listening. Appreciate y'all watching if y'all watch the YouTube videos. And, till next time. Hopefully I'll be back with Eddie next week. Y'all take it easy. Peace.